Hi everyone, today we are going to be looking at an algebraic strategy for completing the square when a is not 1. So all of the same rules apply, except there's a couple extra ones. So we're going to move the c to the left side, divide the first two terms by the a value. We're going to take half of the coefficient of the x and square it in our little side calculation. We're going to then multiply this number by the a because we had to divide it out earlier. And then we're going to add it to the other side of the equation where c is. Notice that we have a perfect square trinomial. Simplify by factoring on the right, and then simplify on the left and bring the k value back to the right. Okay, so what am I talking about? Let's look at an example here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring the 7 to the other side. So 7 is equal to 3x squared plus 12x. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is that was the first thing. The second thing we need to do is we need to divide the remaining two terms on the right by 3. I'm going to leave the 7 where it is. If I take a 3 out of the remaining two terms, we're left with x squared plus 4x plus something to give us our perfect square. This is where a little side calculation comes in, okay? So I'm going to take half of the 4x, so 4 divided by 2, and we're going to square it. So that's 2 squared, which is 4. And then that extra step is I have to multiply this by 3 because I took that 3 out, okay, divided by 3. So to keep everything in balance. So this 12 is going to go over here, and this 4 is going to go in here to make the perfect square. So 7 plus 12 is equal to 3 bracket x squared plus 4x plus 4. I'm going to factor out this perfect square trinomial, 1, 1, 2, 2. So we're going to get 19 is equal to 3 times x plus 2 squared. And we're going to bring the 19 back over. So f at x, or y, is equal to, sorry, I'm running out of space here, 3 times x plus 2 squared minus 19. So the vertex is -2, -19. So just like before, whatever is in the brackets before we square it, that should be in the bracket here as our perfect square, as our h value, okay? All right, let's look at the next example here. Okay, so I'm going to bring the -36 over. 3. I'm going to do this in one step. So I'm going to take out the 3. So I'm left with x squared minus 8x plus something to make the perfect square. My little side calculation. So -8 divided by 2. We're going to square it. So -4 squared is +16. So remember that goes in here. But because I divided by 3, I have to multiply this by 3. And then that number, which is 48, is going to be on the other side with the -36. So -36 plus 48 is equal to 3 times x squared minus 8x plus 16. Okay, factor out this perfect square. We get 1, 1, -4, -4. Okay, so that simplifies to +12 on the left. 3 times x minus 4 squared on the right. I'm just going to write this up here. So f at x is equal to 3 times x minus 4 squared minus 12. So therefore 4, -12, is the vertex. Okay, so again, remember before we square it, that number should be inside my bracket over here. All right, let's look at another one. Okay, so I'm going to bring the -16 over, it becomes +16. I'm going to take out the -2, so x squared minus 6x plus something to give my perfect square. I'm going to make my little side calculation to figure that out. -6 divided by 2 squared. So -3 squared is equal to 9. And then remember that 9 is going to go here, and then I have to multiply that by the -2, and that -18 is going to go on the left with the 16. Okay, so 16 minus 18 equals -2, x squared minus 6x plus 9. I'm going to factor here. 1, 1, negative 3, negative 3. Okay, so negative 2 is equal to negative 2x minus 3 squared. And then last but not least, rewrite it. So f at x is equal to negative 2 times x minus 3 squared plus 2, which means 3, 2 is the vertex. All right, that's it for this lesson.